Hello, and we are now recording.
Welcome back to Bibblin.
Bibblin.
Okay.
Fucking hell, I can't even remember. It's been a while. Lad.
It's been so long since having this of the one and only Bible podcast in my life. It was a mainstay for so long, but yeah, it's good to be back. I think is what I'm trying to say. It's good to be back. How do you feel, Joe?
I'm conflicted, really. It is good to be back. I'm glad that we're doing this again. It's been a little while, obviously. I'm sort of upset that we've got to read the Bible again, to be honest with you, because you know, just to let the listeners in, we just loaded it up, and you know, I've just had like a little look at 38. This is episode 38, by the way.
Welcome to Genesis 38, of course.
Yeah, and I just had a quick look at it, and it's just so Bible-y, man.
Yeah,
so
there's
Bible-y.
a lot of words. Like, it's one thing when you have a bit of a break from the Bible. It's one thing that the first thing that you forget is how many words there are within that damn book.
So many. We've got a new version of the PDF, which we're going to talk about briefly because we basically lost the old one, so we had to re-download it. And this one's got like a 20-page preface in it, so I don't know if we need to read that or what, but I'm saying
we're
no.
assuming that we don't. We're assuming that is already banked. It's previous, even though we've read a different edition. They're probably all the same. We think it's probably fine. If you think it's not fine, then you're more than welcome to tell us that in the usual methods. But
yeah, send us a letter.
Send us a letter, carrier pigeon, all that sort of good stuff. But we're just going to assume it's fine and just carry on, I suppose, to try and get to the end of this thing, because it's been when did we start this project? Let's maybe go back to that.
Bloody years ago, lad.
Don't give a date, because that will displace it too much, and when we eventually finish Genesis, people are going to look back and go like, wow, they started on that particular date. But like, it's got to have been a couple of years now. It's at
least 2 years, mate, since we started recording. Don't even know when we're going to re-releasing this, to be fair, so you know, it could be a few more years by the time anyone hears it. But
and just to stress that Genesis is the first book of however many in the Bible. We looked at the contents page one time, didn't we? And It was just like, there was just so many things in there, just endless amounts of different books and different names, characters we've not met yet, tangents of the story. Yeah,
well, on this new version of the PDF, the actual page according to the book that we're on is page 21. We're on page 42 of the PDF because it's got that weird preface bit at the beginning. But yeah, we're on page 21 basically of the fucking Bible, and it's taken us years to do this.
2 years, 21 pages of 742. It's according to this PDF, this version.
Yeah.
So, of course, the other thing, we do of course have the limited edition Bibblin Bibles, which we were reading from on occasional episodes, which we've definitely talked about in the past.
Big up paper,
red, meaty.
What?
Meaty, yeah. Big up all those paper people. But we unfortunately are not going back to that copy as of yet, because we realise I actually have both of them. So, it's not going to just be me reading, of course, it's going to be Joe as well, so we do both need to be using the same text.
Yeah, I don't think the text changes too much, as we talked about before, but we have to be reading the same version. You know, you can't be on paper and be all fancy over there in Wales, and then I'm over here like a twat on the PDF. You know, we both have to be PDF twats if we're going to be PDF twats.
Exactly,
you know?
We both swing the same way, and then it'll be fine. Yeah.
I just had to turn my brightness down on my screen because I think we picked a really bad day for this. Let's not go into too much detail about when it is, but there's been some booze recently. We'll say that.
Yep.
And I'm just shattered.
It's good because that could be literally any time of year as well, so it's okay. It keeps it really vague.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just absolutely shattered. We're recording this in the afternoon, and we got a little treat to let you Bibblin folk in on. That was sort of a sentence. So we've released up till 37. So we've got from Genesis 38 through to Genesis 50 to do as part of this first season of Bibblin.
Season 1. Big up Genesis.
Big up Genesis. I think season 2 is also Genesis, but that's fine. We'll leave that. We'll figure that out.
Genesis Part 2.
I think so. I think so because it was like Genesis. It It's like Genesis 1, the first book of Moses, and then I think Genesis 2 is probably the second book of Moses, or the first book of some other chap or whatever. But we'll deal with that down the line. We'll deal with that down the line. But yeah, it's been at least 6 months since we recorded an episode of Bibblin, and we felt like we've not been able to due to technical constraints and the fact that you live in another country now. It's it's hard. They
guard the border, all of that sort of stuff. We were quite adamant as well that we wouldn't continue this podcast unless we could be face to face with each other. With the big red books. But we decided that our fans they deserve more. They deserve more Bibbling content, and that's why we've broken our own rule and have decided that we'll just use the technomabobs, the intimajams to just record this remotely. Yep.
So we are doing it remotely. We're not in the same room at the same time, which does upset me. Bibblin should be something special, but we got big plans for season 2. So Genesis 2. Is it? We don't even fucking know. I should probably stop saying.
It can't be Genesis 2, surely.
Genesis 2, Electric Boogaloo, whatever it is.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out. But we've got big plans for the second season. Maybe some kind of visual element, and we're definitely going to be in the same room at the same time. We're going to, change up the game for that. But for this, the thing that's roused us out of our little caves is we're going to record 38 through to 50 today. In one fucking day.
One fell swoop. The whole thing done. Finished.
Done.
No longer Genesis 1.
Which sounds great, sounds efficient, but we're also going to be drinking booze as we do it. So, yeah, we'll see what fucking happens, basically. I think this first episode is going to be quite quick. Obviously, we've had to catch the Bibblin folk up on this bit, but we're just going to fucking plow through it. The actual reading bit, no fucking around. We're just going to get through it. And today,
obviously, all the same rules. Nothing changes of all of that sort of stuff. You come to this podcast expecting us to read every single word and the chapter numbers and stuff exactly. And of course, we will stick to that rigidly. There's no getting around that. So don't switch off now after this housekeeping report. It's okay. We're gonna. Everything that you knew in the podcast will be exactly the same, apart from we're just going to do it a lot fucking quicker, all right?
Yeah, exactly. None of these fucking hour-long episodes. We're just going to get through it, all right? If you're a fan of this, if you're a fan of us, if you're a fan of Bibblin, just means we'll be able to release more episodes. Think about it like that. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait 4 months for an episode now. It will just be. I really feel
months. I really feel for those people who they joined at the beginning. They were like, "Yeah, this is a great podcast. I'm really into the story. The whole narrative that's building." And then there's this drop off where it's there's been a month where they just haven't bothered to release an episode. What's going on? And then obviously some more get released, and then it gets to Genesis 37, and then God knows how long it's been since the last release. 6 months, we said. Could be 6 years. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I feel for those people, and for those people nice one. We're here. We hear you. Here's Genesis 38.
Yep. And here we are.
Oh, 37, sorry.
38.
38, okay.
Yeah, 38.
Right the first time, 38.
Got any Bibblin stats?
Bibblin stats?
Yeah.
Well, funnily enough, I actually have one. The sales of Bibles in the UK, specifically, had a sharp fall the moment that we released Genesis 37, and I can't remember for the life of me what happened in Genesis 37, but we must have said something because it was such a sharp fall in sales that I actually had quite a few people ring me and being like, "Yo, what have you done?" And publishers, that's an impression of publishers, of Bibles, and they haven't really gone back up. So we're gonna have to boost those sales with this amazing episode, of course. So. Yeah, cool. That's my Bible stat. Very, very statistical, I think you'll find, with no numbers included in the stat. So, yeah. Joe, have you got any Bible news?
Any Bible news? Yeah, definitely. Just trying to recall the fact for a moment, but yeah, I do. Bible news. Yes, I do have some Bible news. Guess what Guatemala's gone and done now?
Oh, go on, Guatemala. What is it?
They banned them.
Banned them?
Banned them.
What, even the PDF?
Even the PDF, yeah. It's they haven't banned Christians, nothing like that. But they just don't want informed Christians. So you're not allowed to book anymore.
Right. Okay. Just got to go off of like memory.
Yeah, you just got to go off of memory, and you can still go to church and chat to the priest or the clergy or what have you. But yeah, you're just not allowed the written version of it anymore, which is weird.
That is odd. I mean, I can't say if I support or don't support Guatemala in their plight there, but
it's
fair play.
It's the Guatemalans that I feel for most.
Yeah, Guatemalan Christians.
Don't worry too much about Guatemala as a whole. Like, they're doing fine, but it's the Guatemalans themselves that are really hurt most.
Who will all be going to hell.
Oh. Well, we haven't found out about hell yet, Connor. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's probably in the next book. Or maybe it's in this chapter.
Might be in this one. Or have we, as well? We may have.
I have no idea.
We actually may have.
I'm glad that you didn't push me for a recap, because I just don't.
No, I don't, mate. And when we were recording it before, we'd always talked about how we want to do like a recap episode, but obviously it's taken us, however long, 2.5 years to record what we've done so far. Mm-hmm. So very sporadic records and stuff, which means I literally do not remember anything.
Yep.
We've had Noah. We've definitely had Noah. We've had Cain and Abel. That's it. Yep. That's all I can remember. Mm-hmm. The rest of it.
And Abram and his daughters as well. That sticks in the memory.
Abram had a name change by deed poll from Abraham.
Yep.
Or to Abraham.
To Abraham, yeah. He added a ham to it.
Yep.
Yeah, he added an extra ham. And there was a lot more. There was a lot of cities burning. A lot of people being smited.
Sodom and Gomorrah. All the bumming.
Yep, peradventure.
Peradventure. Oh my god.
Don't know what that means still, but yeah.
Can you bloody... Oh, mate, that seems like a different life ago, doesn't it, peradventure? Right, let's
just dive in, I suppose. Without further ado, welcome to Genesis 38. There we go.
That's it. So it's King James Bible, 1611 edition. Big up 1611, best year for Bibles. Genesis, what is it? Book of Moses... Genesis 1, Genesis, the first book of Moses, Genesis 38, 38:1. I'll just crack on. Should we do blocks of 10 maybe?
Yeah, okay, blocks of 10. Let's
just get through this, alright? No fucking around from here on in.
Yeah.
If you want fun and jokes and that, then turn off now.
Yeah.
Genesis.
Subscribe to Bibbling Extra.
Yeah. Right, Genesis 38:1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hirah. Oh, Jesus Christ, mate. I don't know if
Did it. First verse. Done.
I don't know if I can do it. That's fine. We're here. Genesis 38:2. And Judah saw there was a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her, and he went in unto her. Oh, funky. Genesis 38:3. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Best
name so far.
But what did she call him?
No, but what's your name?
Genesis 38:4. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. Genesis 38:5. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezib when she bare him. See, this, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because we need to just get on with it, alright? But all of that so far could have been one fucking sentence. She had 4 kids. They were called Jesus. Right, that's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna vent.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Don't
vent
worry,
yet.
King James. Yeah, just let King James do his thing. It'll probably all make sense in the end.
It will. On page 742, but it's fine. Genesis 38:5. And she yet again conceived and bare a son.
That's like literally the line you just read as well.
And called his name Shelah. And he was at Shezib when she bare him. Oh, I've actually done that one, haven't I?
Yeah.
Ah, shite.
Done. That was already banked, but it was so good you wanted to read it again. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't just read the wrong bit. Genesis 38:6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. Genesis 38:7. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Whoa. Genesis
Got violent quickly.
38:8. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother.
What?
Okay. Getting real funky real quick. That's the book we know. Genesis 38:9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. He jizz on the floor? Is that what's
I think so. He held up his jizz and then threw it onto the floor in front of his brother.
No!
But it's my wife. No!
It's my jizz, though. Genesis 38:10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also.
And then killed him afterwards.
Yeah. That whole jizz business. Just fucking murdered him.
Okay. Genesis 38:11. Then said Judah to Tamar his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, Lest peradventure he die also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. Genesis 38:12. And in process of time the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted, and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hirah the Adullamite. Genesis 38:13. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnath to shear his sheep. Genesis 38:14. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place, which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. Genesis 38:15. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot, because she had covered her face. Good verse. Genesis 38:16. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayst come in unto me? So she's saying, she's covered by a veil on the road to Timnath, and her father-in-law comes past and thinks that she's a prostitute and tries to solicit her. She says, What are you going to give me for it? Am I right in following that so far?
You're asking the wrong person, lad.
Genesis 38:17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? Genesis 38:18. And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet, and thy bracelets, and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her, and came it unto her, and she conceived by him. Genesis 38:19. And she rose... Genesis 38:19. And she arose, and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. Genesis 38:20. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adullamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Right, so he exchanged a sheep to have sex with her, and she has gotten pregnant and has disappeared with his staff, bracelets, and whatever it was. What was the other thing? I don't know.
I was playing a game on my phone, lad. I don't know. No, I'm joking, but I'm not really.
Judas Quest.
I've not been taking it in, really. This is my problem with this book. It's just none of it does. None of it does at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just like in one ear, out t'other.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't even leave like a remnant of anything. When you said about the sheep then, so I don't remember the sheep, but no, there's the flock. I've just scrolled up. There was a flock in there and shit.
A kid from the flock, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah, that's like a kid from the block, but it's like a kid from the flock.
I'm still Jenny from the flock. That classic.
Yeah, there we go.
Genesis 38:21. Then he asked the men of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. Cool. Genesis 38.
Nowhere, mate. You're looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, down the road, lad. Genesis 38:22. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. Again, same fucking information from the last sentence, but whatever. Genesis 38:23. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I send this kid, and thou hast not found her. Genesis 38:24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, Genesis 38:24. And it came to pass about 3 months after that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar thy daughter-in-law hath played the harlot, and also behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth and let her be burnt. Bloody hell. Whoredom's quite a good word.
It is indeed. An excellent word.
Genesis 38:25. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose these are am I with child? And she said, Discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and bracelets and staff. Oh, I don't know why anyone hasn't turned this into a fucking rap play like Hamlet.
Yeah,
It'd be amazing.
could be.
Genesis 38:26. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She hath more... No, bollocks to it. Genesis 38:26. And Judah had acknowledged them and said, She hath been more righteous than I, because I gave her not to Shelah, my son, and he knew her again no more. Cool. Banging stopped. Genesis 38:27.
The banging's never stopped.
And it came, Genesis 38:27, and it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, twins were in her womb. Genesis 38:28. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. You had a bit of cloth in you, love.
Where did this come from?
Oh, Genesis 38:29. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez.
What?
Why?
Obviously, because he broke forth, so his name should be Pharez.
I'm sure Pharez must mean broken in some language. That must be what that is.
Be.
Again, I'm putting logic on this weird book. Don't worry about that. Genesis 38:30. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Oh, what? So Pharez isn't even the one with... Oh, bollocks to it. I give up.
And that's the end of the chapter. Yeah.
We got through it.
Yes. There we go. Genesis 38.
Wah, wah, wah.
Bam, bam, bam.
Cool.
Yeah, we actually wanted to have sound effects in the next season. So look forward to that when we eventually get to the end, dear listener.
Yep. Just got to get through this first season. You got to get through listening to it. We got to get through making it. But
look, you don't envy us, we don't envy you. Like, that's how it goes.
I wouldn't listen to this dribble. So, all right, cool. Well, yeah, we got 11 more episodes to record today. So let's maybe just stop.
Yeah, let's tie this one off. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, Bibblers.
See you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Bye.